How to calculate pawn breaks. Have you ever wondered how to effectively calculate pawn breaks in chess? Understanding this concept can significantly improve your game. Let's break it down step by step. First, let's define what a pawn break is. A pawn break occurs when you move a pawn to attack an enemy pawn, especially when that enemy pawn is blocked by one of your own. This tactic can be especially powerful when your pawn is positioned next to two enemy pawns that are facing each other. Next, identifying opportunities on the board is essential. Look for moments when your pawns are next to enemy pawns. If you can advance your pawn to challenge your opponent's control of the center, you may create weaknesses in their position. Now, let's talk about some strategic considerations. The center of the board is vital in chess. A well-timed pawn break can help you gain control of central squares, which is key for mobility and development. Understanding your pawn structure is also important. A pawn break can change the dynamics of your pawns. Sometimes it can create weaknesses, but it can also open lines for your pieces to attack. Consider how a pawn break will affect your piece development. Ideally, it should support the movement of your pieces, allowing them to coordinate effectively. Analyzing your opponent's position is another critical step. Think about how they might respond to your pawn break. Look for weaknesses in their setup that could be exposed by your move. Timing is everything when executing a pawn break. You want to choose a moment that maximizes your advantage while limiting your opponent's responses. Make sure you have supporting pieces ready to back up your pawn break. Knights, bishops, or rooks can take advantage of the newly opened lines after your break. Be prepared for your opponent's reactions. They may try to counterattack or close off the lines you have opened. In terms of practical applications, pawn breaks can create threats by opening lines for your pieces to attack directly. By breaking through enemy pawns, you can initiate attacks on weak points in your opponent's setup, such as undefended pawns or poorly supported pieces. Calculating pawn breaks requires a good understanding of the strategic and tactical opportunities they present. By identifying the right moments to execute a pawn break, you can gain a significant advantage over your opponent, especially in controlling the center and creating threats.